One of the key ingredients of any French meal is a salad. You either have a simple plain green salad with a vinaigrette after the main course, or you might start as an entree or starter, a salad composé, which could be anything from having bacon or goat's cheese or seafood or confit, all kinds of things on them. But we're going to make a basic salad composé with a vinaigrette. And people often ask me, why do your salads taste so good? And I say, well, the lettuce, number one, tastes fabulous because it's fresh and it's full of flavor. But also the vinaigrette is very simple and isn't masked by a lot of different flavors. So I'm going to start and show you exactly what I do. I'm going to do this in a glass jar so that you could see. You could use a jam jar and then you can just shake it. And the proportions is what the most important thing is. And it's all personal. What do you like? I like my vinaigrettes quite sharp and acidic. So I often will do even 50-50 vinaigrette to oil. But we're going to do a third vinaigrette to 2/3 oil for this example. And I start with the vinegar. This is a red wine vinegar. And I'm going to just put in enough for, I'll have a little bit left over, but enough so that you can see. So let's go up just like an inch. Because I'm going to do this by eye, I'm looking for a third, and then I'm going to fill the oil up for 2/3. But before I put the oil in, put in everything into the vinegar that you want to dissolve and put into the dressing. I'm going to add some mustard, and this is whole grain mustard. Barely a teaspoon, not a big amount. I'm going to put the salt in now, because if you wait and put the salt into the oil, it'll be encapsulated by the oil and it won't disperse. Half a teaspoon, and then about an equal amount, half a teaspoon of black pepper. And that's going to be the basics. I'm not using garlic, I'm not using honey. I don't tend to use sweet things in my vinaigrettes because we have a little bit more of a non-sweet profile. And you can see as you stir the mustard into this, that it's all dissolved. It was a whole grain mustard, so you'll see some little bits of the whole grain. And now we're going to go ahead and finish by using, this is sunflower oil. It's an organic sunflower oil that's produced locally here in the Lot-et-Garonne by Les Abeilles de Malescotte. And I'm going to fill this up just to about here. And that will be the proportion of a third vinegar to 2/3 of oil. When it settles, you can see that you will have the right amount. And if you want to make this, even just bring this up a notch, I'm going to add a little shot of vermouth. This is Noli Prat dry vermouth, because vermouth is made with all kinds of herbs and spices in it. It's an infused aperitif, but chamomile, raspberry mistel, and I'm just going to put like what would be a good tablespoon in there. We have to stop. So the basic vinaigrette is a third vinegar to 2/3 of oil with flavoring and any additive herbs and spices you might want to add into it, like mustard and salt and pepper. You don't have to use the same oil all the time, and you don't have to use the same vinegar all the time. I have walnut vinegar, sherry vinegar, Banyuls vinegar, red wine vinegar, homemade red wine vinegar as well. And then I use all kinds of oils, but basically a neutral oil for me would be sunflower oil or colza, canola. Occasionally we'll use olive oil. Very rarely do I use balsamic because it's sweeter, and for our flavor profile here in Southwest France, I wouldn't use a sweet vinaigrette. You can add a little honey balance. You could substitute lemon for the vinegar. So you could start to play and learn different flavors and different ways to make a vinaigrette. But the basic is always going to be this 1/3 to 2/3 ratio. So we're going to build our salad now, and then we're going to stir this up and use it. I like to make a salad and serve it in a bowl or a platter for the whole table. I think of plating up when you do a salad for each person like a restaurant, and I prefer to treat my home food as home cooking, not restaurant cooking. I'm using what is called a sucrine lettuce, and here in France, this has been, all of the outside leaves have already been taken off. You can find these packed in grocery stores. They're often, you might see them called Baby Jim's. It's one of the brands in the States. But for me, these are a great little salad. They're tender, they're flavorful, and you can cut them into wedges as well. And I've given this a good soaking in the water, and then turned it upside down like this and let it drain. And I'm not worried about spinning it or making it super dry, because I'm just going to cut this into wedges. And that makes a nice presentation as well, but you can use any lettuce that you like. Sort of do a little pinwheel here. This will be nice for generous salad for 2 people, or just a little taste as a side for 4 people. I also have some rocket and mash. Rocket, arugula, has that little peppery taste that I like so much, nutty peppery. And mash is little round leaves, little rosettes like this. These have, they're usually slightly cool weather, but these have been produced under greenhouses, so are available. And I just gave these a good rinse, and then I'm going to make a nice little mound in the middle. So I am actually using 3 kinds of lettuces. I have the sucrine, the roquette, and the mâche all together. So what will make this a salad composé is if I add other elements to it. I'm going to take carrots, and like crudité, which might be grated carrots, I'm going to just put some ribbons, fresh ribbons, right on top of this once I get this cut. And I'm digging in a little deeper here than the peeling. I'm not worried about them curling yet. I'm just going to make a nice little mound in the center. And these are so fresh, they don't need to be plunged in water, or they're just perfect the way they are. I'll just pile these up in the center here. So what about tomatoes? Are you team tomato when it comes to salad? Some people don't like tomatoes as much. Other people love tomatoes. There's not a salad without it. So what I'm going to do is, this is a cœur de bœuf tomato. I'm going to cut off the top and peel it. I'm peeling it because it actually, these tomatoes can be just slightly tough on the skin side, and this will be nicer in the salad. And you don't have to plunge it in boiling water. I don't want to cook it at all. I want to keep the fresh tomato and the acidity. This is not, you can see there's a little green, and that's because I want it for a salad. If I was making a sauce with this, then I might, I want a riper. I'll take off that little stem end. And then let's just make some chunks. I don't want them perfect slices. All right. So it's sort of nice to have another element, three things. And I was thinking of a salade niçoise, which has green haricots verts as one possibility. But if you're going to use them cooked on a very raw salad, it might be a bit of a shock. So I'm going to take just a handful of these haricots verts that are very fresh and do a little trimming, the stem end off here. And then to make it so that it will go with the thinness of the carrot, I'm going to cut these into thin ribbons as well. You know, there are special cutters and tools that you can use, but I don't happen to have one. So here we have some fresh haricots verts that's going to go just on top of this as well. It's nice to present the salad like this, and then when you serve it, you're going to lift it up and everything's going to kind of mix together. And that's how you're going to end up putting the dressing on everything. Now, this can be made just beforehand, before you're ready to serve it, because you want to keep things fresh and not, I wouldn't hold it in the refrigerator. And then at the last minute, as I bring this to the table, I'll go ahead and dress it, and then I'll pass some of the vinaigrette around separately if people want more. So good stir. And let this drizzle down over the top, over the tomatoes and the haricots verts and the carrots, and then a little around the edges for those sucrine wedges. And that's all you need to do to make a beautiful salad composé with its vinaigrette, classic red wine vinegar, and sunflower oil dressing. Bon appetit!